What is up, guys, and welcome back to some COD gameplay. This time on Ambush. The game went alright for us, to be fair. We did actually lose in the end, but you'll see all that occur at the end of the game, really. But anyway, as you well know, if you watch these videos, you know I talk about COD, you know I talk about footy, and there's only really one thing to talk about. Well, there's kind of two things. There's the World Cup qualifiers and the transfers, but as a Hull City fan, there hasn't been a lot of transfers going on. There's more been selling out one player, really, maybe two. But the main thing was we've brought in a new manager, but I will talk about that more towards the end of the episode. The thing that I want to talk about is the World Cup qualifier, and obviously the one against Scotland. Now, I am commentating on this on Monday, so I don't know the result of last night's game against France and England, so I'll probably talk about that on Saturday's episode of COD. But for now, it's about the Scotland game, and friggin' hell, it was like watching paint dry. Oh my, first half, I'm not kidding you, if you watch the game, you'd probably agree, it was so bad. It just was. Thank God Lee Griffiths scored them 2 goals, because it finally woke England up a bit. I mean, it took Oxlade-Chamberlain to come on and actually score. I don't know what Craig Gordon's doing, but I mean, thank you for that, because he should have easily saved that goal. I mean, the commentators on the game were bloody saying about him not wearing a hat because Joe Hart wore that stupid hat before when he was at that end in the first half. I mean, Joe Hart wearing that hat got absolutely slated. But yeah, Craig Gordon shouldn't really not let that in. But we went 1-0 up, and obviously Lee Griffiths in the space of 3 minutes scored 2 worldy free kicks. They were world free kicks, to be fair. There was very good free kicks. It's just Joe Hart, for some reason, was stood on the corner flag. His positioning, I just don't know what he was doing for both goals. Why is he not stood in the middle of the net? I know people would argue and say, well, they kind of stand over that side, so if strikers just absolutely blasted at him in that corner, then you know, they have a better chance of saving it. And obviously, to get it over the wall and go in, it's a hard skill, but Lee Griffiths basically did it both times, and you'd think he'd have learned after the first one, but no, he didn't. He just was being a knobhead and just thought he'd do the same. I don't know what he was doing. I mean, to be fair, there was that clip of him bloody picking up a pass back from Jake Livermore. That could have gone, you know, tits up as well. That could have resulted in a goal. It's just, the thing is, right, I felt sorry for Joe Hart when Guardiola shipped him off to Torino, but looking at it now, he probably told us why, because he was crap. Why is Butler not playing? Even Tom Heaton. I'd actually put Tom Heaton in goal for next game against France. I really would. Will we beat France? Well, it's not looking like we might. Well, it was looking like we won't. We have no right, to be fair. I mean, Pogba and Kante in that midfield against Dyer and Livermore is going to be absolutely solid. Griezmann up front will give bloody whoever's playing at the back a run for the money. Payet, he might be on the wing, I'm not quite sure. The defence, I mean, they could pick anyone, to be fair, and they'd still probably beat the England side. I mean, there's a picture online, obviously, of the French side, and they've got about 4 backup players for each position, and they're probably arguably better than all of our players, to be fair. I mean, Dele Alli as well had an awful game. Harry Kane went missing in some parts. He didn't really get into the game either. Lallana tried. Sometimes he does try a bit too much, but at least he's trying. Dyer and Livermore, I thought they did all right together. I mean, more defensively than, you know, attacking. I mean, obviously Dyer is kind of a centre-back / holding midfielder, so you'd think in a 2, you wouldn't really put him in there. But, you know, Southgate, I think, lining up looked like he was off for the draw. I mean, you know, obviously Sterling didn't start, Oxlade-Chamberlain didn't start, so, you know, to be fair, I mean, Scotland did probably deserve the draw, actually. The first half was pretty crap. We played it into their hands, to be fair. We really did. But anyway, on to the other news now that I want to talk about, and that is Hull City, my club who I support, getting a new manager. And he's Russian. He obviously managed Russia at the 2016 World Cup where we drew against them. And I've got to say, he's got a very awkward name to say, so, you know, I don't really want to say it. But the main thing is that he has been actually credited by a few other managers and a few other players, so hopefully, you know, he can do a job. The thing is, I don't know much about him at all. I just know, obviously, he managed Russia in the 2016 World Cup and did alright with them apparently, so, you know, hopefully, you know, he can do alright with us. We need a few new players, to be fair, because we've hardly got a squad at the moment. I mean, obviously Curtis Davies has just moved on. Apparently Dawson might be off to Burnley. Huddleston. Apparently West Brom want him as well. So Leonid Slutsky, what a name, but yeah, he's got a hard job to do, to be fair, because at the moment, the thing is, with the squad we have got quite good players. It's just we haven't got a big squad, and that's what you need with the Championship. Because if you get a lot of injuries, you need a lot of squad depth because there's a lot of games. But hopefully he can come in, you know, do a good job. Like I said, I don't know much about him, so I don't know if he's going to be any good. But with the players he's got at the moment, you know, you should really be hitting the playoffs. Still got Hernandez, still got Klukas. Klukas came on a lot to the end of the season, so he did quite well. Still got a relatively alright defence. Elmo, you know, normally does good in Championship. For me, I wouldn't keep him again. But to be fair, Odebaggio is coming back, because obviously he was injured all last season, so, you know, hopefully he can do a job there. Robertson looked like he's off, so does Maguire. Jakupovic, I think, will stay. So, you know, we've got a lot of players still probably going, and, you know, we need to start buying some, to be fair. I mean, it was a good job that we've appointed him now, rather than, you know, later on, because he can kind of come in and see what he can do with some players. But, you know, the main thing is we need to get some players in, because all the other clubs, they're one step ahead of us at the moment, because they're all buying players and, you know, we're not. But anyway, that's my football talk for you know, today's episode. Obviously, as you see with the game, we went 10 for 10 in the end. We started quite well, dropped off a bit, and then picked it back up. So in the end, we equalled our death and kill ratio. So, you know, 10 for 10 in the end. We did actually get beat by quite a lot. I think some of my teammates were actually leaving, so I think that's kind of why we was getting beat. But anyway, 75-58 to them. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the episode. If you have, please like, subscribe if you're new. And guys, I'll see you later. Peace.